Good morning, everyone. It sounds like someone is killing a cat outside for some reason. So, today was better than yesterday, or whatever day that was that I made a video last. I actually had a Red Bull today, and so I'm like full of energy. So, I still don't know what's going on. Come this way a little bit. So, I don't know if I actually did one of these before, but I feel like I have, so this might just be an amendment slash, addition. Dude, now it's kids screaming. Anyway, as you know, if you watched the last one or any of my others, because this seems to happen a lot, I'm feeling particularly drained lately, in the getting up to practice and forcing myself to do things, especially. So, I wrote down a few things that might help get yourself out of a rut, I guess. It's the same thing as when you have writer's block. It's not necessarily force yourself through it, which I always suggest for writer's block, but here's a couple things that I have to bring the magic back into your life a little bit. And as I said, I feel like I made this video before, so this is just an addition to that. And there's a lot of new stuff, so. Do something you wouldn't normally do. And I thought of this earlier. I said to myself, when I was a kid, I used to just take random baths in the middle of the day for no reason. And the light quality is different because of sun and stuff, and I've never actually been, blessed enough to have a good window in my bathroom since I was, 7. So, if you happen to have a window in your bathroom, more the power to you. Just go have a bath in the middle of the day. It's I think people usually associate bathing with getting ready to go to bed, which is fine and all, but there's a nicer quality of being in some clear water while the sun is out. You could make a really pretty ritual bath with flower petals and everything. I would love to do that more often, but cleaning rose petals out of the bathtub, it's kind of a pain in the ass. Get up early to see the sunrise. It's actually kind of nice when you're sleeping outside, camping or whatever, and you wake up for some reason really, really early in the morning. And you're just like, hey, I'm going to sit here watching the sky turn slowly from blue to yellow to pink, and then the sun's here. Good morning. Especially if you're working with a sun god, that would probably be a really neat little morning ritual to do. Nothing's telling you can't go to bed after that, because in the summer the sun comes up at 5:30. And then the third thing on that list is spend some time in the sun, as I did a few weeks ago. In the summer, the sun is very prevalent, so just get a little bit of vitamin D, yo. Alright, clean your altar. I let my altars get way too dusty. And then I feel like the relationship that I have with my deities gets dusty. So I force myself to go and neaten and rearrange and add things, subtract things, put new crystals up on my altars. If you normally cook meals, order out. If you order out a lot, try cooking. I like to have a healthy balance of getting Chinese and also making Chinese. It's usually not Chinese. I'm not really a fan. My boyfriend gets Panda Express so much. He would probably eat it every single day if he could. I'm not that big of a fan. I like crab rangoons if they're imitation crab. And I will eat some homemade stir fry. We used to make stir fry with bacon in it because we were poor and didn't have ham. Which doesn't sound like it makes sense, but anyhow, healthy balance of cooking for yourself and just taking some time off and saying, I don't feel like cooking, I would rather get some pizza. It's not even necessarily a magical thing, it's just helps make your life fresher. Make a dedicated cleansing spray. I don't have it with me, I should have brought it in. Smell-o-vision doesn't exist, but it smells really nice. I will write the recipe in the down there, but I will also read it out loud to you if you don't like going and reading my little messages. The one that I made is actually, I have a little spray bottle that I got at the dollar store, so it only holds like a cup of water, so I put about half that in there. So say half a cup of water, 4 or 5 drops of essential oil of your choosing. Probably any of them would be really good smelling. I'm using a lavender orange, I think, that I got to make my dandelion salve last year. And then I added some fresh lemon balm. You can add rosemary. Rosemary is really good for cleansing stuff. I just got a rosemary plant, and I'm not willing to trim it just yet. Some sort of non-soluble crystal, so something that's not going to dissolve in water if you want to charge it with one of your crystals. Amethyst, as far as I know, won't dissolve in water. Make sure to look stuff up before you put your crystals in water. Like selenite will just dissolve. Also, yeah, don't lick your salt rocks, kids. That's weird, especially if you buy them secondhand. Y'all are like, yeah, I really want to lick this rock. Like, you can, it's just salt. But, dude, I got mine from a thrift store. That'd be a terrible idea. I also put some, like, ground Himalayan salt in there because salt is good for purifying as well. So, basically, right now you have some hot salt water that smells like lavender. And then definitely make sure it's fused with your intention. The first time that I made it, Celine kind of just followed me around the kitchen and told me, put this in there, put that in there. And then I finally was like, hey, all of these things are great for cleansing. Wow, thanks. And I spray it around the windows, the doorways. I sprayed it on my couch because the couch smells terrible and the spray really smells nice. So I wrote down a spell to say while you're spraying, or an incantation. If I can remember what it is. Evil does not enter, something. Make up your own, I don't know. Spray it 3 times around and counterclockwise or clockwise or whatever. You do you, but that's a good recipe for cleansing spray. Nevertheless, put a little bit of magic into every room in your house. I kind of touched on this when I did a VR a long time ago about making your space magical. Not just your favorite room. So, say my favorite room, the room you spend most time in, is probably, for me, my living room right now. So that's where I have all of my witchy stuff just piled. This room has a lot of stuff in it, but it's not really like this stuff used to actually be on my, 3rd altar ever when I moved into my boyfriend's house. And, this little vase is really neat. It had that rose in it because he bought me a rose, or he stole a rose or something. And I had it all on the top of our dresser at the time. So now this part is an ocean altar. Actually, it kind of all is. And I have this little snow globe and some ocean water. So this is kind of an altar right here. And then I have this thing, which I haven't even put stuff in as of now, which I really need to. And then I'm slowly putting art up on the walls. And then there's a bunch of other stuff on this shelf. So this room is actually getting pretty good as far as making it magical. I need to put some stuff right here behind my desk so that if I start working from home anytime soon, I can just sit at this desk and be like, yeah, this is actually really nice. I need to work on the bedroom as far as making it more magical. I bought myself a green blanket because I keep seeing these pictures of people's bedrooms with plants just all over the walls. They have green blankets, green sheets. Just everything looks like you live in a greenhouse. Plants, and there's just a cat just perfectly loafing there on your bed. I don't have that part, but we have green sheets and green blankets now. If I get a giant palm tree from Walmart for $20, I'll put that in my bedroom because the light actually is okay in there. I want to have plants in every room in my house because it makes it nicer. There's all kinds of plants in my kitchen right now. So the idea is you come in and you walk through all the rooms of the house and you get maybe different vibes, but they're still nice and magical and free-flowing. Just make your house reflect you. Don't just center all of that good energy in one room, because then you'll go to bed and you'll be like, I'm so depressed in here. All the walls are bare, like my bedroom right now. That's what I would suggest. And I'm working very hard to try and make every room a little more special. It just takes a long time. Try some new music, a new recipe, or make your own of either one of those things. Music or food. Just like, hey, you know what? I'm going to make a basic cake batter, and I'm going to put some lavender and some lemon cream frosting, and then suddenly you have a recipe. And I would suggest to everyone, because I'm suggesting this to myself, you should write down the recipes that you come up with, because that is another reflection of you that you can pass on to other people. If somebody comes up to you and they're like, hey, these cookies are really good, what recipe is this? And you're like, that was just a sugar cookie recipe that I put some lavender and lemon cream frosting on. You're like, actually, these are called my Beltane cookies. Here's the recipe. And then you'll seem that much more adult and magical, and I don't know, maybe that's just me. Anyway, I would suggest writing them down. If not in your Book of Shadows, in a separate cookbook. Because you are going to find stuff that you like personally. You're going to make your own tea blends, and you're going to make your own twists on things. Even if it's a recipe that you normally make and you're like, I actually prefer it with less sugar, but I put in some carob seeds. Like, that's a personal thing that you should be keeping track of. Decorate your kitchen. I kind of already just went over that, but I work with Hestia, so my kitchen is a reflection of my home in general. I always like to have a tea kettle on the stove. I always like to have ice cubes in the freezer, just in case you have people over and you're like, yes, welcome to my space. This is what I have. You try to make it welcoming, plus that you'll feel more at home in your kitchen. Create things. Sew, crochet, DIY decor, plant something, painting, etc. I did some repotting today because I went out and I bought a bunch of herb babies and they need new pots. I got 2 different varieties of houseplant that were in these tiny, tiny pots, and they needed bigger pots. So what I usually do is buy like a big pot, say for my lemon balm, that came in a pot. Actually, no, he came in one of those little black ones. So I took him out of that one, bought him a slightly bigger one, used this one for something that was in an even tinier pot. You kind of just keep reusing them. So now he has a pot this big, but when he needs a pot this big, I'll use this one for something else that keeps going up and up. So reuse your pots, I guess. Curate towards meditation spots in your paintings, or make paintings of your gods and goddesses. Something special to you. This one was just kind of like random. I don't know. All of these just were more of a feeling. But I have my god and goddess paintings on their altars. So that'll help you if you're making something for someone. Like, hey, I made this thing for this goddess. And then give it to them, put it on their altar. Just gives you an excuse to do things. And lastly, feel the sun, moon, wind, water, sunbathe. Take advantage of all of the free energy around you. So if you're feeling stagnant, go outside and feel nature moving. There's free sun, free moonbeams, just about everything that is magical outside. The moral of this story is go outside more. Not now, I guess. Everybody's staying inside now. You can definitely open a window, and the wind and the sun and the moon will come inside. And if you have a balcony like I do, make sun water and moon water on the balcony. Go sit outside on the balcony. Anyhow, those are some ideas to get through a rough time if you're feeling spiritually burnt out. Anyway, I hope everyone is having a wonderful day, and I will see you hopefully soon. Blessed be.